Hey there, it's Daniel Barrera from Meteoro Speed Shop Panama. Today we're gonna show you how to build a 4-cylinder engine short block. This will apply to almost every engine in the market. Please help me out, leave your comments, tell me what would you like me to explain, what engine, what car, what make, and I'll do the video for you. Thanks a lot, please subscribe. Before installing the crankshaft, you have to apply engine oil to where the main bearings are gonna sit. Okay, I have already installed the main bearings on the case. Very important, the lubrication hole. Be sure it's on top of the lubrication hole of the block. Now we're gonna lubricate them. And very important, we're gonna install the truss bearings that go here. Okay, these are the truss bearings. I've seen engines die because of incorrect installation of this part. These groups are very important. This should be facing the crankshaft because these are the oil passages. If you put it is installed like this, they will fit the other way around. But if you put them like that, you won't be lubricating the crankshaft, the part of the crankshaft where this sits, and it will heat up and eventually it will cease. So this is a very important part. You have to lube it very well in new engine oil in order for it to stick in there, and then we will install the crankshaft. Okay, as you can see, I already installed the truss bearing. Now the function of the truss bearing is to help position the crankshaft for it not to move back and forth. I'm going to show you the cap. Here is the cap, the center cap that holds the truss bearing. Notice that's a little, I'm going to show you another one. This is one of the other caps. Notice it's wider. Why is it wider? The truss bearing won't be able to rotate. It will be in that position. So this little piece of metal here, the extra piece of metal compared to the other bearing caps, is wider, and so this will keep the truss bearings from rotating. Okay, very important, before installing the crankshaft, you should lubricate all of the bearings because when the first rotations, the crankshaft won't have any oil until the oil pump builds some oil pressure. Okay, I just put in the crankshaft. Very important, you should not rotate the crankshaft without the center cap because you will spin out the truss bearings. Like with the bearings, you should lubricate the mains from the crankshaft before you install the caps. Okay, I just put in the bearing caps. Now you have to put the bolts in each cap. They will serve as a guide for the cap not to enter in a wrong way. Remember, this is an aluminum block. It's very delicate. Okay, I just hand tighten all the main caps. Now I'm gonna torque it. The way to torque it is about the same for every engine. You torque it from the inside out in this way. First here, then 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 here, and last here. You torque it from the inside out and you go in across. For this specific engine, I like to torque it to 45 feet-pounds in two steps, one of 20 and one of 25. Okay, I already torqued down the main bearing caps to the crankshaft. You should be able to spin it freely. If it's hard to spin, then you have a problem in the block. But this one was checked at the machine shop, so you should have no problem. And as you see, you can spin it freely. 45 foot-pounds for these main caps. The next step is to put in the pistons and connect the connecting rods to the crankshaft. Okay, here are the connecting rod bearings. You have to clean well the rod before installing them. Okay, here's the first connecting rod. I already oiled it. You have to pay attention for installing here's the key. There's actually no way to do it now. Just put it in place with the key. And it should be level on both sides. There's virtually no way you can do it wrong. Very important. Keep always every rod with his own cap, because these rods are not have some imperfections because they are cut. They are made in one piece and then cut. So those imperfections keep them together. So if you misplace a cap, you won't have a good fitment and you will damage the engine. Okay, I have already put all the rod bearings in place. Very important to notice that if you're working with an old engine, whatever engine, if you're just re-ringing it and putting new bearings on it, you should be very aware that you need to put each piston and each rod in its proper place, because each piston could have a different wear. So if the first journal, for example, if you have the first journal and the rod you have the bearing replaced, but you have the same piston and the same rod, you should keep it there because they have worn out together. If you put that in that piston and that rod in another place in the block, the wear may be different, even if you don't notice it, because you don't notice, and it could cause a big damage to the engine. I don't have this problem in this specific engine because everything is new. The block has been resurfaced, the crankshaft also. The rods and the pistons are brand new, so I don't have that issue. But just remember, it's very important to keep everything in its place. Now I'm going to fit the pistons into the block. I'm going to use this tool. It is called a piston ring compressor. You need to compress the rings in order to get them into the block. Okay, I just turned the block the other way around because the pistons go this way in. You have to be aware that you always have a mark on the piston, or you should have, that faces to the front of the engine. In this case, the front of the engine is this one, so I have the mark facing down. You should oil the rings before compressing them in order for them to be easy, and also the block. That will make the process easier. Okay, I have the rings compressed from the first piston I'm gonna put in. Put it as tight as possible because it always gives a little bit of problem when you're putting the pistons in the block. Okay, it's in position. Then you have to slightly hit it down with a rubber hammer or with a wooden part to not damage the piston. Okay, I got the first piston in. You push it down to the journal, and then we're going to turn it around and put the bearing cap. Okay, here's the rod bearing cap. You have to put it key facing towards key. Okay, as you see, I already fitted the 4 new pistons with rods into the engine and into the crankshaft. Now I'm going to torque them down. I'm going to torque them about 30 foot-pounds. Okay, I torqued everything now. I double checked everything. In this one I use 45 foot-pounds on main and 30 foot-pounds in the rods. The engine should rotate freely because since it has no head, it will build no compression, so it should rotate freely. If on the crank you got more than to use more than 30 foot-pounds to move it, you may have a problem, and you should get it checked on a machine shop.